And we're live. Welcome to our first episode of Three Mo Bros One-on-Ones, where I will be introducing you guys to our panel members. And going today is Caboose07. Caboose and
Heyo.
welcome. Caboose and I have known each other for a very long time. Starting out with being friends in the military and then finding solace in gaming. And have been
Yeah,
doing it ever
yeah.
since.
It's a solid word, solace.
Solace. It feels so good off the tongue.
It does. It's one of those words you think way too much on when you're.
Right. So what's been going on, man? How you doing?
I'm good, buddy. Out here grinding on Forza and Halo and working the 40-hour weeks.
Right. Always trying to find time for gaming. Where to fit it in.
Always.
Well,
What about you, buddy?
I'm doing good. Actually, at work right now, hoping we don't get interrupted.
Hey.
So, I want to kind of let our audience learn about you as a gamer. So let's talk first about what is the first gaming experience that you really remember?
Super Mario. Super Mario and like NES games. Pretty much
Nice.
everything Mario on like the old NES consoles.
Was it your console initially, or did you go play
It
at somebody's
was
house?
It was not. It was one of my best friends in middle school. Me and him played. Uh, Usually on the weekends we would hang out and we'd try and beat each other's scores and like just speed run it, see how fast we could do levels.
Yeah, isn't it interesting now that we have everybody has this like personal gaming experience where when like arcade gaming and that like initial home gaming experience first came out, it was all about that leaderboard. Everybody replayed the same maps over and over again,
Yeah.
just trying to get better times or more points or whatever. I feel like we don't really have a lot of that anymore.
I wouldn't say we don't have a lot of it. I would say there's just more. It's more open in public now.
Oh, that's true.
Like, whereas like back in the '90s, early 2000s, before YouTube or internet searches like that were a huge thing for gaming. I mean, it was just you'd hear about it on what was it, G4,
Yeah, right. Yeah,
or
G4
read
TV,
about it
man.
in the GameStop magazines and shit like that.
They're back. I haven't checked out too much of it, except for clips people share online of people saying silly things on G4. But Adam Sessler and all those guys are back doing it again.
But
So anyway, what was the first console you owned yourself?
the original Xbox, OG Xbox.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
So
did you get
I
a PS2
OG
after
Xbox,
that?
and then no, I would always borrow or play on a PS2. I never actually owned one until me and the fiance got one.
Yeah. Recently, when you picked up that one to play old school Need for Speed, right?
Yep, Need for Speed Underground 2, greatest game ever invented.
That's awesome. Uh, so then you had that, and then you had your Xbox One, right?
So it went OG Xbox, got rid of that because it broke down on me. So we tossed that, or I tossed it, and then 360
Oh, what a silly
through
goose!
college.
Forgot all about 360. Yeah.
I was a tryhard too. I had the Halo edition, the Halo 4 edition, um, and then the one, and now currently as of as of currently, I have. I just recently acquired an OG Xbox. We have the PS2, and then a Series S,
Your Series S. Yeah. Well, little man
which I'm
is.
hoping sometime this year I will be able to acquire a Seagate external for it.
Yeah, how are you feeling with the? Are you using your old external hard drive on your Series S right
Yeah,
now? How do you feel times are like running games back and forth because you can't run everything off of that external?
it's not bad. It's like so today I transferred Destiny 2 over, and I think it took me like 20 minutes. So it's
The whole thing, the whole package.
yeah, the whole package, all the DLC, the whole game. Like none of it is super detrimentally long. It's an inconvenience, but it's not life altering.
Gotcha. Yeah, the little man gets a lot of flack because everybody says it's gonna hold back gaming, even though it's the
Nah.
same architecture as the X. It's just built to run all that stuff at 1080p and 1440p. I see it all the time on my
Yeah, no,
Facebook
I
groups and stuff. There are people saying, "Oh, why would you get an S when you could get an X?" And they just don't understand.
yeah, no,
Um,
I couldn't. I don't even know. I couldn't imagine picking up a Series X and being much happier outside of a disk drive.
yeah, yeah. No, I think that's and you're basically 100% all digital anyway, aren't you?
Yeah, outside of um, yeah, outside of Halo, I've got some of the recent what was it Need for Speeds? I think
Oh yeah.
I've got two or three of those before Heat, and then I've got all of the Halos outside of Infinite on disc
Cool. Um,
and ODST because they gave that to me digital for Master Chief Collection. So I think that's my only actual digital extension with Infinite.
oh, okay, gotcha. I forget the next question. I already told you I was going to ask you. um,
Uh, what about yours? What was your first gaming?
oh, for me, I had an uncle that had an SNES, and I don't really remember gaming too much before I went to his house to play Super Metroid for the first time.
That
And
was a good game.
yeah, and I only ever played the first mission. You remember where you came down on the elevator and you'd platform down the middle area, and then you ran to the right through a bunch of different platforming stuff, and there was like traps or shooting fireballs at you and whatever, and then you flipped the switch at the end of the mission and had to run all the way back to the elevator and platform back up the tower before the place blew up. It gave you like a minute or something to do that before it exploded. And I just remember being so sweaty palmed at the end of that. And I just chased that experience after that. I loved games. And then I actually we had like an old piece of shit gateway computer or something that we played with at my house, and my dad got me some of the humongous games because I was a pretty little kid. I was maybe 7, maybe even 6 years old
Oh yeah,
doing
you
that.
were young. I
Um,
mean, I was like 13, 12 or 13.
oh wow, yeah. So I owned a Sega Genesis first. That was my first console that I owned, and I think I was maybe 8 or 9 when I got that. But we had. Did you ever play the backyard sports games? Those
I
were huge.
did.
Those were big when I was a kid. But they had all the kids that were playing a different sport, and then with the football one, I remember that was the first one. They had like little kid version of Dan Marino
Yeah,
that would go out
little
there and
baby D.
yeah and play with you. They had a few other ones too, but I don't remember any of them. But I always remember little kid Dan Marino made me laugh. So, but that was that for me, and then I just never stopped. I owned an original PlayStation after that, and then a PS2, and then an OG Xbox, and then a 360, and I skipped the PS3 altogether, and then got an Xbox One, and then a PS4, and then I only had that for a few years, catching up on God of War and The Last of Us and all the Uncharted games, which were all great. I missed all that stuff, not having a PS3 and then being really late into PS4. And then, of course, I went ham trying to find a Series X and a PS5.
Yeah, you got lucky on that one.
I did. I will agree that I got lucky, but I know life finding consoles, especially with trying
That
to
is
get
true.
a Series X at launch, but getting my PS5 once I got the okay from the missus to go look for one. I followed a bunch of people on Twitter who were basically posting when the restocks would happen. I don't know where they're getting their inside information, but they were always dead accurate. Meyer chasing the cat.
Yeah, she's being an asshole.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Yeah, no, I envy you on the Series X.
Don't, man. Like, really, I'm getting, basically slightly better resolution than you are on the S, and that's it. There are games that have ray tracing on the X that don't on the S, but I never get to use it because I can't play games at 30 FPS anymore.
Right.
I don't know how you feel about that. Like, have you ever tried
See,
going to like quality?
I always start. So I always start lower. Like whatever it recommends, I always start lower than that. So if I ever do decide to upgrade, it's just absolute bliss.
Yeah, I like
Like
specifically on God, what's a great example? Not Forza, because their 30 FPS is pretty smooth, honestly. Like the frame pacing is just fantastic. But
Far Cry was a good one.
Yeah,
Far Cry 6, that was a good one.
they have a quality mode, don't they? For that, where it can run at 30 FPS at a higher resolution, but then it goes dynamic at 60 FPS, and it's just so smooth.
Yeah, no, that's a massive game. I was a fan of it.
Pretty good. I never finished 5. I just got pulled away doing something else. I don't even remember now. But I couldn't stop playing 6. I thought that was really fun.
I have not dove into the DLCs yet, but I'm soon planning on it.
No, I haven't touched them either. My latest obsession has been working through all the From Software games, trying to get ready for when Elden Ring comes out in February.
Yeah, you're absolute madman for that.
They're so good. There's something that flips in your mind when you because everyone says, "Oh, I don't play those games because they're hard," and saying that they're not hard would be a lie, because that's not true. But what I think is most difficult about From Software games is, one, that you don't get all the necessary information to understand how to play the game outright. So the community is such an effort in talking to people and going man, I cannot beat this boss for the life of me. I just run in and get pancaked. And then somebody will say, that's because you're not doing this. And then you go in and you do that, and it's like a whole world of difference. And then you champion that boss, and there's such a great feeling of just
accomplishment.
Yeah. And it feels so good. And so few games have that anymore, in my opinion. So
I'm gonna expose myself here. I definitely would have felt that more with Halo Infinite if I did not be legendary with the fucking AA gun.
I'm absolutely using that for my 8 hour run. I'm
Yeah,
just
no.
fucking smoking stuff.
So I did my 8 hour run on legendary and the skull hunting on legendary because I'm a masochist and I hate myself. But I did it with the AA gun and it was stupid easy.
Yeah, it's like that almost seemed
I
intentional
will,
the way that they did that
yeah,
because
I
they still
will
haven't
add that.
patched it.
No, as far as I know, I believe it's still active. Um, by the time I did do my legendary run, I played. That was my third time playing through. Because I beat the game regularly on heroic, and then I did a normal playthrough for all the little campaign achievements. I think besides
Nice. There you go.
one or two, and then I did the legendary with the skulls.
Okay.
So I knew what was gonna happen. So it wasn't really like, oh hey, what the fuck? Like I knew which bosses were coming up.
Right.
Kind of had an idea of what to not be terrified about.
Yeah, there you go. Like that hammer bitch and the final
Oh, dude.
boss. That guy alone killed me more times than anyone else in the rest of the game. I died more times just trying to kill that one dude. Because there's so much other stuff trying to kill you, and you're trying to shoot at things that are way less dangerous while running from him.
Yeah.
Oh, as soon as I saw
The
somebody else talk about him, I was like, oh my gosh, I feel so vindicated that I'm not the only person that hated that guy.
yeah, and you kind of get a glimpse of his mechanics. Um, and I think it's one of the first ones you encounter when you're in the. You have to shut off those lasers.
Oh, and one of the strongholds?
No, it's one of the main missions where you like go into that mining site and they turn the big laser on,
Oh,
like the
oh
five
yeah,
lasers.
yeah. When
You
you're
get like
when you're
you
it's
get
the
shoved
trap.
into that room with him.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It was a
I
nightmare.
I
I
got
had to
lucky
like
there
door
because
jam.
I had a rocket launcher, just purely out of happenstance. I don't usually just carry around a rocket launcher because they are a lot for a little with ammo.
Yeah,
But I happened to run up there and try to flip that switch, holding a rocket launcher, and he obviously spawned into the room, and I blew him up.
well, I guess that would answer the franchise question, huh?
Yeah, is Halo your favorite?
Absolutely.
There you go.
I like my top three being number one being Halo, and then as of recently, mainly because of Horizon 5 release and how EA is treating the Need for Speed franchise. Forza second, and Need for Speed being third.
There you go. Very cool, man.
So I don't have the patience or the heart to sit down and start anything like Dark Souls.
We we should do it together sometime.
Absolutely
If
not.
you ever feel like wasting $20 or something when it's on sale, uh, we could co-op through Dark Souls, and I'll show you what's what. It'll change your life.
Ugh. Speaking of co-op through stuff, me and Lang are going to start playing Ghost Recon Wildlands again.
Oh, nice. That'll be awesome.
We're gonna do a ghost mode stream playthrough. See
Ooh,
how far we make it.
that's the one death and it's all over, right?
Yeah.
How does that work with co-op?
So you have the ability to revive teammates, of course. So your health drones will come into play. Like actually like communicating, not just running and doing shit solo.
I would love to be in on
But
that.
yeah,
Can you do?
uh,
It's four
I
people,
think
right?
you can do up to 4. Yeah, so it'll be a 4. We could do a 3-man, and then just have you jump in. Like we could do a different save or join you. That way it doesn't mess up the main save. But yeah,
Wow. Yeah. Oh man, that sounds awesome. I hope you
actually,
guys
while
do
we're talking about it, I'm gonna go start that download.
that. There you go. Which is great. I'll vamp while you do that. Lang is the other. Olangutan is the other Threemo bro, and I will have another one-on-one episode with him at some point. We may wind up doing our first panel podcast with him on it before then, but we'll just have to see how timing works out. So, what was the best new game you played this year, Caboose? What was your game of the year?
For I'm assuming 2021.
Yes.
Check my games here.
You trying to look at what you played the most?
Yeah, yeah. Not necessarily what I played the most, because I mean that's all Destiny 2, right? Because I hate it, but I love it. I stand that. Far Cry 6 was definitely a good one. Horizon 4 was a good one. I was a big fan of Hot Wheels Unleashed.
I never picked that up. It was on sale too, and I thought about asking you about it. You really liked it?
I really liked it. Lane can't stand it, but he made the mistake of letting Fletcher see it, so now he has to play it.
Oh no!
Yeah, Fletcher absolutely loves it, and so Lane gets stuck in these like 2 or 3 minute races with the dyno buggy.
That's so funny.
Yeah,
Is Fletcher
so
any good at it, or is he just basically smashing
absolutely not.
not?
Yeah, he just pinballs himself off the walls, and whenever you boost, like if you're using dynos, they roar, so he gets a huge kick out of it.
Oh, that's so fun. Bentley's only a little bit into Hot Wheels. We got him a set for Christmas that has like 4 cars in it. But the thing I like the most about it is it folds up into like a suitcase type thing. It's got a handle on it, and he can take it to Mama and Papa's and do that.
I remember having it was a car carrier, right? Like one of the truck car carriers, and the wheels actually moved, but you could unlatch it and open it up, and it was just had a bunch of storage in it for cars. Oh, it
Oh,
was so cool.
nice. Okay. Yeah.
And then I got one that looks like a suitcase, like just like a Hot Wheels like roll suitcase, like you see at the airport. It had like storage for like 70 some Hot Wheels.
Oh, that's awesome.
But okay, back to game of the year. I'd probably give it to if we're just doing like if we're excluding Halo Infinite and Horizon 5 and like end of the year releases, I'd probably give it to Far Cry 6.
There you go. I would not be excluding those. January 1st to December 31st is the way I look at it.
In that case, I'd give it to Infinite.
There you go.
The solo campaign alone was just phenomenal.
It is awesome. For me, I think nothing still beat Death's Door for me this year. That game was so good.
That's the
little
the
indie Zelda top down with the crow and the sword. Yeah, man,
Yep.
that game was phenomenal.
I saw some videos on that. That looked amazing.
And made by 2 people at Acid Nerve, I think was the name of their studio. Just really, it had a big interconnected world in the way they worked the doors. I just thought it was all awesome. And then
What was that other top down that me and you played for a while?
Ascent, Is that what you're thinking of?
Ascent. That was a
Yeah.
good game.
What blew my mind about that was the level of detail that they went through on a top-down game. Like there were some people that posted pictures of they were able to detach the camera and move it around, so it wasn't just top-down anymore. They could go inside, like the little shops and stuff that were there, or inside the interior areas and look around, and even like the trash that would be in the alleyways, or like the drinks at the bars, were all fully modeled, which is insane.
Yeah.
Like for a top down, like you don't have to fully detail all that stuff because it doesn't matter. No one's ever going to see it. And they
Right.
still went through a lot of time. That was really, really a cool game.
I did forget about Cyberpunk, but I think that'd be the death of our podcast if I named that one.
No, it's getting a lot of love right now because CD
Well,
Projekt
they just
Red,
had a
big
bunch of
update.
DLC or couple DLCs come out, right? Or the
Yeah,
first big DLC.
I'm not sure when it's dropping. I think they're gonna announce more soon, but I think it's coming out next month, maybe, or in March, where it's gonna have the series consoles and the PS5 update. So it'll be next gen textures and load times and all that stuff. And then, because right now, any benefit that your series consoles or PS5 is getting is all just because they're brute force.
Right.
But along with that, you're going to get the first big DLC for it, which is definitely going to be enough to get me into it. So.
Yeah, no, I'm super excited to get back into that. I mean, it had its moments. I definitely had some of the glitches and stuff, but I think I had right around 100 hours into that game.
Yeah,
Just doing all the side missions, and
I think I only got to like 50 or 60. You played a lot more of that game than I did.
I was so ready for that game. Super excited about that one. That was one of my favorite games.
And I thought it was good. You played that initially on a 1S, right?
Yeah. So yeah, I was huge disadvantage on that one, and I didn't have almost any of the problems that everybody else had.
Yeah, that was really lucky. All the T-framing people and floating objects. My favorite thing to this day was every room that I think I walked into had a floating dildo in it.
Yeah.
That always made me laugh. People were talking about like immersion breaking bugs with floating objects and glitching characters and stuff, and I was like, no, I just chuckled every time I saw a floating dildo and moved on.
I feel like that's just the Fallout inside of me, right? Like,
Yeah, old Bethesda. Yeah, for sure.
yeah, like you just gotta at some point understand that like this game is not about immersion. This game is about physical entertainment and enjoyment.
Yeah, phenomenal games
Not
with little forgivable bugs.
oh yeah, like plus like all the armor glitching and stuff that you could do. Like it was just crazy.
Oh yeah.
Um, Outriders was another good one.
And Outriders was a
It
big
was another
deal.
good like terrible release.
I firmly believe that game isn't as successful or as big as it is if it's not day one on Game Pass.
Yeah, no, I agree. That game had no chance.
And then it topped Steam sales for a while. And we have a buddy, shout out to J-Bug, who played on PC with us and got it on Steam.
Yeah.
Because I think that game did as well as it did on Steam because people were wanting to play crossplay with their Xbox buddies who were getting it for free. So
Yeah, no, Game Pass I think really did wonders for that. And their first big free DLC just came out and revamped a bunch of the way the armor and the weapons work together, and fix some of those game breaking issues that everyone had such a problem with.
I really need to jump into that again and maybe play through on a different character or something, because I had a gosh, what was the class that had the turrets? I had a turret based
Oh, you had the can't think of the
survivalist or
name right
something
now.
like
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
yeah, the
cool,
poison guy.
cool game. I thought for sure. Did you
The one thing,
go ahead?
the one thing about that game that ultimately upset me, and like it kind of made me not want to play for a while. Like, don't tell me that it's not going to be a live service game, and then live service the game.
Yeah,
Like, let me have the groundbreaking, or not really groundbreaking, but let me have those game breaking abilities that you guys put in there. Like, someone in your fucking lobby came out and tested this, and now all of a sudden you're mad about it. Absolutely not. Let me play that game.
why are you balancing a 100% PvE game? Let me feel
Right.
powerful. Don't handicap me so that I don't burst through your, experience. I forget who it
Right.
was that explained it to me in such a great way. Their point of view on it was awesome. They said, basically, if I have a good time playing your experience, even if I play through your experience quickly, when you release more content, I'm more likely to come back and experience that again than if you
Yeah.
make it hard on me to experience your content. Even if it takes me longer to experience it and get through it, when you release more, I'm less likely to come back because I know I'm just going to have to grind and deal with all that.
Yeah. And I could see some of it. Like, some of it was actually, it would take away weapon abilities and stuff like that. So stuff like that I could understand. But don't go in and like change out every ability just because one doesn't work. Like, we don't need mass punishment because of a minor setback. If I want a turret that does 1,000,000 plus damage, let me have a turret that does 1,000,000 plus damage.
So maybe we'll wrap it up on one more thing. I
Sure.
want to know about the game that you're looking most forward to next year or this year, I'll say.
Two, actually. One being already released, and the next one just man looks. I have not looked into any kind of details on it. The first one being Infinite co-op campaign. I absolutely cannot wait to get into open world and just roll around with you guys.
It's going to be so good. I've heard rumors, though, that it's only going to be 2-person co-op, and I will absolutely shit my pants if that's the case. I'll be so
I'd be
furious
very upset with
if
that.
it's not 4-person.
I would be very upset with that.
Yeah. So that,
I mean,
in my opinion, is a must.
yeah, that kind of upsets me just talking about it because, like, you've given, I would every Halo campaign has been 4-person, right? Am I just crazy, or is that just recently with the Master Chief Collection?
I think
I want to say
maybe
maybe that's just
OGC
recently.
was only 2 people in regular campaign, but it might have been 4. But I think you can
Yeah, because
only
I
do
know for
2 people
sure
co-op.
that Halo 3 and Reach and 4 were 4 people.
I think 2 was as well.
Was it? Oh. And then the game that I haven't seen anything on is Dying Light 2.
Ooh, are you purposely staying in the dark on that? Because
Yes.
there's like 6 or 7 episodes now of their developer blog that are all looking pretty cool. That game's looking pretty badass.
Yeah. I kind of did this with Halo as well. Like, I knew about Craig, but like I kind of just kept myself in the dark so I wouldn't overhype myself
Right.
or underhype it. So with this one, like I know the release is coming out, and I'm just excited about it just because I love Dying Light the first. Back to our gaming. What are you most excited for?
So
Or what most interested in, I guess?
unabashedly, I am most excited for Elden Ring. Just to have more
I should have known that.
from software punishment. But aside from that, I'll move on quickly because I think everybody knows how I could just shamelessly vomit love for from software games.
They're
But
definitely a niche group of hardcore followers.
it's an acquired taste for
Like
sure.
it's one of those, and there's quite a few games that are out there now that like if you they're like once you play them, and you're either gonna absolutely love them or you're gonna fucking hate it. Kind of
Right.
like Fable. Like you either love Fable or you hate Fable. There's no, oh, I'll sit down and play it.
Oh man. Well, I'm on the Love Fable side. I tried to go back and play the OG the other day though, because it's on Game Pass. So I was just gonna mess around in there for a little bit, and that game does not hold up at all.
It no, it did not age well.
It's real bad. But I'm
I
excited for Playground's Fable.
yeah, I was kind of bummed. You remember when the crossplay, like when they first started talking about crossplay, and Fable was supposed to be like the flagship game for that.
Oh yeah, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Back in the day. Yep. I'm really glad that we're getting a new one.
Yeah, and that it's made by the people who made A Beautiful Mexico. Like that game's gonna be phenomenal looking.
Oh yeah.
And it's being made on the Forza Tech engine that Turn 10 is currently using to make Forza Motorsport. It's just going to be called Forza Motorsport, but it's Motorsport 8.
Yeah.
And the trailer for that, like the in-engine bit that they played, looks disgustingly real. It's like really, it's crazy.
Oh, what was that game that you were excited about?
Oh, I was going to say,
You,
there are two other games coming out this year that I'm pumped about. And they're both Xbox first-party games that'll be day one in Game Pass, and it's Redfall by Arcane, and then obviously Bethesda making Starfield that'll be coming out in November.
Starfield will be a good game, yeah.
So I'm fully prepared to get lost in that.
I'll definitely check it out. I don't know how much time I'll put into it, but I'll definitely check it out. But
Were you not like a big Elder Scrolls fan?
Not so much.
More of a Fallout
I'm
guy?
not real like so. Skyrim. Like I played it, but it's not my favorite thing in the world.
I gotcha.
So I think Skyrim would be probably the only one that I'd go back to play.
Okay.
Outside of like a Fable type game, of course.
I think Starfield is going to be really wild. They've been working on that game for a really long time, and they've shown off concept art for some of the planets and talked about like their atmospheres and stuff. So they were saying like there are planets with as big of maps as like some of the older Elder Scrolls games, and because of the way that the new consoles can stream data, like you can just make every planet have a massive map. So it's going to be really cool. I think what they're doing with that game is wild.
Yeah, I really hope it's groundbreaking. Just for the amount of hype and interest and love that they've supported and put into it.
For sure.
Plus, I'm just tired of seeing Bethesda getting pooped on for Fallout 76.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you guys actually had a really good time with that game. I can't do the base building deal, so I kind of fall apart quickly in 76, but
Oh, that's all like I man. minuscule. I was like some wooden walls. We're good.
Yeah, Lang's got like a mansion built over a
Oh yeah.
crevice.
Oh yeah. We were playing one night, or I jumped in one night to play, and he had spent like 4 or 5 hours that day building his home into the one of the bridges, like in between the concrete supports on a river.
Right.
It's like 2 or 3 story house built up in between these concrete supports on a bridge.
Yeah, he's insane. He took me. I don't know which place it was of all the ones that he's built in that game, but he took me to one of his abodes, and I was like, "Wow, this is way cooler than stuff I would think to bring up." Oh, hey, look who it is!
Yeah.
And he's not going to talk.
Probably not. Well, that'll be a good time for us to record the outro then. You can edit.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, it's been real. The one-on-one was fun.
Lang.
Hi.
We're still recording. How are you?
I'm clean.
Oh, that's good.
Hey, clean boy.
I'm sure my volumes are all kinds of jacked up. So
It's actually
good luck with
Not
that.
really.
not too bad.
You actually sound really good.
Stop. Go on.
We were just talking about your phenomenal,
Yeah, your Fallout 76 mansions.
your 76 space builds.
76 space builds.
Yeah.
Your Fallout. Yeah.
Just my incredible building skills in 76.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just works. You know. It just it just works.
You can say fuck. We're not getting monetized for a while. That's fine.
It just fucking works.
So here's what I'll do. I'll let Caboose do his outro. Thanks for coming, pal. It was awesome to get a chance to talk with you.
Thanks for having me.
So
brought up some crazy game memories.
Yeah. So tell people. So basically, you don't really do any kind of gaming social media, do you?
Not so much. Usually, if I stream, it's with orangutan.
Oh yeah, you can give that.
I'm hoping to pick up some solo stuff once we get moved into the new house. But
what is your your Twitch handle?
It's Caboose07.
Awesome, and then your Caboose07 on Xbox Live as well.
Yes, sir.
Across the board.
There you go.
Across the board, make it easy.
Making it easy. And then the next thing I'll do is preface our next one-on-one episode with Orangutan here, who we mentioned just briefly earlier. Why don't you give people a little taste by telling them what your 2021 Game of the Year was, Lang?
Oh, definitely. Oh my gosh, why am I Deep Rock Galactic? There it is. I was looking for it on my screen. I've got my Xbox pulled up in front of me. I was like, I don't have to remember it off the top of my head. I could just look at it.
There you go.
Well, no, I'm an idiot. No, Deep Rock Galactic. I love it. I haven't played it in a while, but that's just because I've been focusing on other things. But I hit that thing hard. I had like, I don't even know how many days I had in it, but it works really well competitively or cooperatively. Servers don't really drop you or won't have any lag issues. I mean, I know that my bandwidth is vastly different from Caboose's and from yours, Astros, and some other people that I've played with. And I haven't noticed any issues. Nobody else has said any issues. So I think...
And that's hard to find, right? Like, every game that comes out has these network issues.
Shall we talk about Anthem? Yeah, no.
Oh, man.
I mean, even games like Call of Duty and the Ubisoft titles have massive issues at launch. But this little-known indie game dwarf mining first person shooter game. It stole it for me. That's awesome. I love that game.
I have to wonder, the people that make stuff like that, just like masterpiece little indie games, or like, you know, really great songs, like the first time they played that game, like, and it's
Right.
fully like fully concepted out and built, they had to be like, this is a shit ton of fun. Like,
Either that or they're massively insecure in it and they just constantly put work into it.
yeah,
It's
just,
one or the other.
just pooped on it in
There's
meetings
just-
about how bad it is.
Yeah, there's just like one
Are we sure about
hated
the
dude
dwarves?
in the break room. They're like, "Hey, Greg, what'd you think about it?" And it's like, "I fucking hate it."
Are we sure about the dwarfs? Are we sure about them being surly?
Yeah.
And
He's like, "You really want to put ginger hair in there? This is the route we're going, Tom."
Certainly.
it's so fun. There's so many elements to it that I haven't even gotten to yet. Deep dives and core refining and all that. I've scratched the surface.
All right.
It is a very massive game. Recently, quite a few updates too. Usually, every time I
they
get an
added-
update,
They added seasonal stuff.
is that what that was?
Yeah, it's some kind of competitive version of it where you
Oh.
are competing with your friends list, I think. I might be totally spouting lies, but I haven't really seen too much of it. Just that every time you complete missions or mission logs, you get certain points towards, I think it's Vanguard or Rivals or something like that. It's interesting. I haven't really delved into it too deep, but they're definitely adding stuff every day.
We
Yeah.
can start our main
I was just
podcast.
gonna thank everyone for coming and watching, and stay tuned for more from the Three Mo Bros.